Yeah, we back. Now, hopefully today's going to be a quick video, but I was inspired by the video that I did the other day where I spoke about Tariq and, the pre-colonial African slave trade and things like that. So today I'm inspired to do this video right now. Which African kingdoms did Haitians come from? Right now, the list is very long, as you already know. So in today's video, we're going to talk about the most prominent ones, right? The most famous ones. And towards the end, we're going to talk about some of the first leaders of the country, and we're going to discuss their ethnic backgrounds as well. So not wasting no time, let's get into it. Which African kingdoms did Haitians come from? Now, to understand where Haitians came from, you got to go back to the colonial origins of the island of Hispaniola. You got to go all the way back to 1492 when Christopher Columbus pulled up on them boats. Now, as you already know, in 1492, Christopher Columbus, sailing under the Spanish flag, he landed on the island that he named Hispaniola, which is now present-day Haiti and the Dominican Republic. This was the beginning of the European colonial presence in the region, right? 1492, that's when them Europeans pulled up, man. The Spanish were the first to establish a foothold and a dominance in the region. They established a colonial government and they began exploiting the island's resources through forced labor. In the 17th century, sometime in the mid-1600s, the French began to establish a presence on Hispaniola. I believe it was just like pirates and buccaneers, just random dudes at sea just pulling up and just setting up shop. They initially settled in the western part of the island, which is now present-day Haiti. The French colonists established plantations and began cultivating cash crops such as sugarcane, coffee, etc., etc. The French colonial presence began to grow, leading to significant demographic changes as the French settlers imported African slaves to work on their plantations. As conflict persisted amongst the different European powers, towards the end, I believe 1697, we got the Treaty of Ryswick, which formalized the division of Hispaniola between the French and the Spanish. The colonial regime came to a dramatic end, as we all know, with the Haitian Revolution towards the late 1700s, early 1800s, when the enslaved population overthrew the entire system. Now, let's get into it, man. Let's get into it. Let's discuss where the hell we came from, man. Now, as a disclaimer, like I said, I'm only going to be focusing on the African origins in today's video, the African ethnic groups and the African kingdoms, things like that. I'm not going to be talking about, the European DNA, the European ancestry. I'm not going to be talking about any potential Native American ancestry. Y'all can do your own video on that. This video is going to be on the African origins of where the hell Haitians came from. Now let's get into it. Now, one prominent ethnic group that comes to mind is the Congo people. The Congo people coming out of present-day Angola, the Democratic Republic of the Congo, the Republic of the Congo. As you already know, the Congo Kingdom was one of the most significant African kingdoms throughout history. It emerged, I believe, sometime in the 14th century, reaching its peak sometime in the 16th century, spanning a vast territory across Central Africa. The Congo Kingdom was renowned for its sophisticated political organization, the artistic expression, and the massive trade networks. I believe the Congo Kingdom was founded in the year 1390 and remained in power until 1914. Very long time. Congo society was organized under the leadership of a king known as the Mani Congo. The Mani Congo served as both a political and spiritual figure, overseeing the affairs of the entire kingdom and maintaining a connection with the spiritual realm. The Congo people, like many other African groups, they have a complex spiritual system that blends ancestral veneration with the worship of a supreme deity, as well as spiritual intermediaries who serve as conduits between humans and the divine realm. Congo spiritual practices involve ceremonies, rituals, and the use of sacred objects imbued with spiritual power. The Congo people deeply value their connection to the spiritual realm and seek guidance and protection from their ancestors. And throughout the presentation, you're going to notice a lot of these different African groups, even though they're their own people, they have their own culture, you're going to notice we are more similar than we are different, right? So even though we got our own different thing going on, we have a lot of similarities among our people. So let's get into it. Next group, we got the Igbo people, right? The Igbo people are an ethnic group located in present-day Nigeria with a history dating back centuries. They have a vibrant culture, a strong sense of identity, and they played a significant role not only in Haiti, but the entire African diaspora. The Igbo people trace their origins to the Kingdom of Enri, I believe in southern Nigeria. The Kingdom of Enri was founded, I believe, sometime damn near 1,000 years ago and remained in power up until 1912. Very long time. Igbo society places great importance on education, entrepreneurship, and the pursuit of knowledge. The Igbo are known for their contribution and participation in the area of commerce, academia, and the arts. Traditional Igbo spirituality centers around the worship of the ancestors, as well as a supreme deity known as Chukwu. Now, next group, we got the Yoruba. The Yoruba people are an ethnic group primarily located in present-day Nigeria, Benin, Togo, with a history dating back centuries. The Yoruba have a profound connection to the ancient kingdoms that flourished in the region. One of the prominent ancient kingdoms of the Yoruba people was the Oyo Empire. It emerged sometime around the 14th century and became a powerful political and military force in Western Africa, controlling vast territories, vast trade networks, engaging in both diplomacy and warfare. The Oyo Empire was founded, I believe, in the year 1300 and remained in power up until 1896. Very long time. Very long time. So you got to understand, a lot of the countries that exist today, these are very new countries when you hear how long these ancient African kingdoms were around. We're talking about hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years these centralized governments were in power and dominating their regions. Now let's continue. Next up, we got the Mandinka. The Mandinka are an ethnic group primarily located in present-day Senegal, Gambia, Guinea, Mali, Guinea-Bissau, etc., etc. The Mandinka have a strong historical connection to the ancient kingdoms of the Mali Empire, one of the most legendary, one of the most famous, one of the most influential empires to ever exist in the history of the African continent. The Mali Empire was founded in the year 1230, and I believe they remained in power up until 1672. Mandinka society places great emphasis on communal values, hospitality, and the preservation of ancestral customs. The Mandinka have a strong connection to the natural world and the worship of ancestral spirits. They believe in the presence of supernatural forces and the ability to communicate directly with the ancestors for guidance and protection. And as we already know, Islam is heavily interwoven into Mandinka society, going back centuries and centuries. And there have been many notable figures throughout Haitian history that can trace their origins back to the Mandinka people. Legendary figures such as Francois Makandal, the famous rebel leader who came before Toussaint Louverture, the rebel leader who came before Dessalines. Decades before those brothers rose to power. Makandal was a charismatic guerrilla leader who united the different maroon bands and created a network of secret organizations connected with slaves still on plantations. He distributed poison to the slaves, who added it to the meals and refreshments they served to the French plantation owners. Makandal's leadership and brilliance made him a respected figure among the enslaved community. He organized acts of resistance, including poisonings and acts of sabotage against the planters and their property, utilizing his extensive knowledge of traditional herbal medicine and the secret knowledge passed down from the African traditions. But unfortunately, despite his influential role in the fight against slavery, Makandal's pursuit of freedom was cut short. In 1758, he was betrayed by a fellow conspirator and captured by the colonial authorities. After a trial, Makandal was brutally executed, becoming a martyr for the cause of freedom and remaining a figure of inspiration for the rebels that would come decades and decades later. Another notable figure in Haitian history that has Mandinka ancestry was Dutty Boukman. Boukman was born somewhere in present-day Senegambia in West Africa and then transported into the European colonies. I believe first he landed in Jamaica and somehow he landed in the French colony of Saint-Domingue. He rose to prominence during the Haitian Revolution as a powerful spiritual and military leader. It was on the night of August 14, 1791, at a gathering known as the Ceremony at Bois Caiman, Boukman delivered an impassioned speech galvanizing the enslaved population to rise up against their enemies. During the ceremony, Boukman invoked the spirits of the African deities and called upon the assembled crowd to fight for their freedom. His words resonated deeply, fueling the determination and unity necessary for the entire population to launch a widespread rebellion. Boukman's role in the revolution extended just beyond the ceremony. He became a respected figure and key military strategist in the early stages of the uprising. His leadership and tactical expertise inspired others to join the fight. Under Boukman's guidance, rebel forces carried out successful attacks on plantations and engaged in guerrilla warfare against the colonial authorities. His ability to unite various factions and instill a sense of purpose and unity was instrumental in the early process of the revolution. In November 1791, only a few months after the ceremony, Boukman was betrayed and captured by the French colonial forces. He was brutally executed, but his sacrifice and legacy continued to inspire those who came after him. Another legendary figure in Haitian history with Mandinka ancestry was Emperor Faustin Soulouque, who was the president of Haiti, actually the emperor of Haiti from the year 1849 up until 1859, through, I believe, the lineage of his mother. His mother was a Mandinka woman. I believe she was born in West Africa in the region of Senegambia, and her son Faustin Soulouque became emperor of Haiti in the mid-1800s. Now, let's continue. Next group, we have the Fawn people, F-O-N, the Fawn people, associated with the powerful kingdom of Dahomey, which rose to power during the 17th to the 19th century. The Dahomey was known for its strong military and elaborate administrative structure. The kingdom played an extensive role in the regional trade and cultural exchange. The Dahomey kingdom was founded in the year 1600 and remained in power up until the year 1904. The Fawn culture is characterized by its intricate art forms, music, dance, religious practices, the complex social structure with kings, nobles, and commoners. The Fawn society is deeply rooted in tradition with a strong emphasis on respect for elders and communal values. The Fawn people have a rich oral tradition, passing down their history and their myths through storytelling. They also have a developed unique system of symbols and artistic expression, particularly known for their skilled bronze casting and vibrant textile designs. The Fawn people traditionally practice voodoo, a complex spiritual system that recognizes a pantheon of deities as well as the veneration of the ancestors. Voodoo encompasses rituals, ceremonies, and spiritual possession where practitioners communicate with the divine realm. These deities represent different aspects of life as well as nature and are worshipped through various rituals and offerings. They are believed to provide guidance, protection, as well as blessings. During the transatlantic slave trade, many of the Fawn people who were forcefully enslaved and transported to Haiti, they brought with them these cultural practices, these religious beliefs, as well as linguistic influences as well, which had a lasting impact on the development of Haitian culture. In Haiti, the Fawn cultural elements merged with those of other African ethnic groups, blending with those of European Catholicism. When you combine all of that and you throw it in the blender, you get Haitian voodoo. The Dahomey culture was characterized by its complex social hierarchy and its military prowess. The kingdom was governed by a powerful monarch known as the King of Dahomey. One of the most influential aspects of Dahomey culture was its all-female military unit called the Dahomey Amazons. These brave women played a crucial role not only in defending the national territory and defending the kingdom, but also during the Haitian Revolution themselves, because I forget the exact number, I forget the exact stat, but it had to be something between 20 to 30% of the Haitian Revolutionary Army. It was black women. It was black women. Now, of course, we had the black women functioning as spies, functioning as intelligence agents, but it was black women suited and booted with the weapon in hand, with the rifle in hand, with the machete in hand, standing side by side with the black man. So, you know what I mean? That also had to give a head nod to the Dahomey kingdom, because Dessalines himself was raised by a Dahomey woman. The woman who raised him was a Dahomey woman. And I spoke about this many times on my channel, but later down the line, when King Henry Christophe came to power, he imported an entire mercenary army of Dahomey troops. I believe it was somewhere close to 20,000 men, as well as some women in there too, because his wife also had female security guards, a female armed security unit, which was Dahomey women as well. So he imported 20,000 into the kingdom of Haiti when he was in power. So the Dahomey played an incredibly influential role in Haitian culture and early Haitian society. Now, next group, we got the Wolof. The Wolof people are an ethnic group primarily located in present-day Senegambia and Mauritania. They have a long and storied history marked by ancient kingdoms such as the Wolof Empire. This kingdom played a crucial role in regional trade, political alliances, and the preservation of Wolof culture and tradition. I believe the Wolof Empire was founded in the year 1350 and remained in power up until 1549. Wolof society is known for its griots, its oral historians, its vibrant music, dance, and distinctive attire. They have a strong sense of community, a social structure which is organized around families and extended lineages. Respect for elders, hospitality, and communal values are highly valued in Wolof society. Alongside Islam, the Wolof people also hold on to their traditional spiritual beliefs. These beliefs include the veneration of the ancestors and the recognition of various spirits associated with natural elements such as the rivers, the trees, the mountains, etc., etc. You'll notice a lot of these different African cultures, they're very similar, bro. They're very similar. Now let's continue. The next group, we got the Kingdom of Alada. The Kingdom of Alada was a powerful West African kingdom located in what is now modern-day Benin. It flourished from the 16th to the 18th century, known for its skilled warriors, advanced political structures, and significant cultural contributions. The Kingdom of Alada was founded sometime in the 1100s or the 1200s, and it remained in power up until 1724, when it was succeeded by the Kingdom of Dahomey. Towards the end, as the Kingdom of Alada began to fall off, the Kingdom of Dahomey began to take power. And the ethnic groups that were involved in Dahomey and Alada, they were very similar. You had the Fawn people, you had the Aja people, you had the same ethnic groups in the same region of modern day Benin. So that's why when you look at the Kingdom of Dahomey, the ethnic groups that were involved and influential in that kingdom, they were also involved and influential in the Kingdom of Alada. Now, let's get back into it. The region surrounding the Kingdom of Alada was home to various ethnic groups who contributed to its cultural traditions. These included the Fawn people themselves, as well as neighboring groups such as the Yoruba, the Aja, the Mayi, as well as many others. Each group had its own distinct cultural practices, languages, and contributions to the region's history. One of the most significant connections between the Kingdom of Alada and present-day Haiti is through Toussaint Louverture, a key figure in the Haitian Revolution. Toussaint Louverture was the descendant of Alada royalty. I believe he was the grandson of a prince, of an Alada prince. I'm not really too sure. I don't really remember. But Toussaint Louverture definitely has royal ancestry going back to the Kingdom of Alada. And in fact, to honor the connection between Toussaint Louverture and the Kingdom of Alada, there is actually a statue that was erected in modern-day Benin. Toussaint Louverture has a statue that is present right now that is standing in the region of the ancient Alada kingdom. That's a fact. That's a fact. Next group, we got the Fulani people. The Fulani are an ethnic group spread across several countries in West Africa, including Guinea, Senegal, Mali, Nigeria, etc., etc. They have a long and storied history marked by nomadic traditions and unique cultural practices, as well as significant contributions to the culture of different regions all over West Africa. Next group, we got the Balanta people. The Balanta people are an ethnic group primarily located in modern-day Guinea-Bissau, with smaller populations in Senegal and Gambia. Now, as you notice, you'll see these different ethnic groups around the same region. I just mentioned the Fulani, also in Senegal and Gambia. The Mandinka, also in Senegal and Gambia. Now, the Balanta, also in Senegal and Gambia, as well as Guinea-Bissau. So you'll notice, and Mali, all up in that same region, the whole Sahel region. So you'll notice they come from the same region, different African cultures, different African groups, but similar regions. So they're all connected in some way. The Balanta people traditionally practice their own spiritual beliefs, which involved, you guessed it, the veneration of the ancestors, belief in natural spirits, and the recognition of various deities associated with the natural elements. Next group, we got the Hausa people. The Hausa people are an ethnic group primarily located in northern Nigeria and other neighboring countries. The Hausa people were associated with their powerful city-states. These city-states flourished as centers of commerce, scholarships, and political power, contributing to the prosperity and cultural development of the Hausa people. Hausa culture is known for its rich oral traditions, the vibrant art, music, dance, and architectural style. The Hausa society is organized around families, clans, and hierarchical systems, and strong emphasis on community values and mutual support. And for those of y'all who've been following my channel for a long time, I did a video a long time ago when King Henry Christophe was in power in the early 1800s. He actually captured, I believe it was either a Spanish or Portuguese slave ship, and on that slave ship there was Hausa speaking children. There were children who spoke the Hausa language. So, you know, that's a legendary story about also the connection of the Hausa people to the Haitian people. Now let's continue. Now, due to the fact that I wanted this to be a short video, this is gonna be the last one of the day. Like I said, I can't name every single one. We're gonna be here a whole damn hour. So we're gonna wrap it up with the Bambara people. The Bambara is an ethnic group primarily located in Mali and neighboring countries. The Bambara people are associated with the ancient powerful empires of Mali as well as a few others. They flourished in the region from the 13th to the 19th century. These empires were known for their economic prosperity, their strong central government, as well as their artistic achievements. Bambara culture is characterized by its oral tradition, its art, music, dance, and its intricate wood carvings. Bambara society is organized around families, clans, and age grade systems with a strong emphasis on community values and respect for elders. There's also great importance placed on agriculture and particularly farming. The Bambara people have a deep connection to their land, and farming is not only an economic activity but also a cultural and spiritual practice. Like many other African cultures, they also incorporate the reverence of the ancestors, the veneration of the ancestors into their spiritual beliefs. And like I said in the beginning, before we get up out of here, I'm going to go through the first few leaders of Haiti, starting with Toussaint Louverture, and then we're going to name where they came from, right? We're going to name where they came from, the African ethnic groups they came from. So first, starting with Toussaint Louverture, like we mentioned before, he is the descendant of royalty from the kingdom of Alada, right? The kingdom of Alada in modern day Benin. That is where Toussaint Louverture came from. Now, Dessalines, we don't really know exactly where he came from. There's a lot of speculation on where his legit DNA traces back to the region. It's been speculated, right? But we do know for a fact he was raised by a Dahomey woman. He was raised in the Dahomey culture. So he was raised as a Dahomey man. He spoke the Dahomey language. He was raised in the Dahomey military tradition, meaning that starting as a child, in the Dahomey tradition as a child, that's when you would be inducted into the military. It wasn't like the modern day where, you know, you grow up, you go to high school, and then you induct into the military. No, starting at the age of 8 years old, 9 years old, that is when your military career begins. Your military career as a military man or military woman starts as a child, and Dessalines, it was no different. As a child, he was already learning the technique of, you know, handling the machete and handling hand-to-hand combat and things like that as a child. So it's no surprise, as a man, he became one of the greatest black men to ever lead troops into battle. Now, as you already know, in 1806, Dessalines was assassinated, and the country was divided into two governments: the Kingdom of Haiti up north under the leadership of King Henry Christophe, and the Republic of Haiti down south under the leadership of President Alexander Pétion. Now, when it comes to Pétion, he was a quadroon, right? I believe his mother was mixed race and his father was a white man. So we don't really know what exactly his African ethnic group was, because, you know, he was a mixed brother. But King Henry Christophe, it was a lot of speculation, right? Because you got some sources that claim that King Henry Christophe was an Igbo man. You got other sources say that he was a Mandinka man. You got other sources say he was a Bambara man. So we don't really know, right? It's speculated between those three groups. King Henry Christophe could be an Igbo man, he could be a Bambara man, he could be a Mandinka man. Now, I'll tell you this, judging by the mentality, judging by the brilliance of King Henry Christophe, judging by the business mind when it came to commerce of Henry Christophe, I'm gonna say that King Henry Christophe, he might have been an Igbo man. I'm gonna say that. If I would have to pick, I'm gonna say he might have been an Igbo man. You know, but some sources say he might have been a Mandinka man, a Bambara man, or he might have been all three. You never really know, because in the transatlantic slave trade, a bunch of different African ethnic groups, there was a lot of mixing and matching. So you don't really know. But you know, listen, one of the greatest minds that the black race ever produced, King Henry Christophe, man, legendary. And as I told you before, he had an entire mercenary army of 20,000 Dahomey troops. So the Dahomey kingdom was very influential on both sides of the Atlantic, right? Back in West Africa, as well as the European colonies, man. Those early regimes of the Haitian government was very, very heavily populated and dominated by the Dahomey culture. Starting with Dessalines, many members of the Haitian ruling class during Dessalines' regime, as well as Christophe's regime, they were Dahomey citizens. They were descendants of Dahomey. So, you know, very, very, very influential nation as it pertains to Haitian culture. And you have even certain cities like Gonaïve, if you go to Haiti, the Dahomey culture is heavy over there, man. You could even go to certain, you know, voodoo temples. You're gonna see the Dahomey flag flying right next to the Haitian flag. So, you know, very, very deep connection. Very deep connection. Now, when it came to President Jean-Pierre Boyer, who came to power after Christophe passed away and united the entire island, even the Dominican Republic half, the entire island came under Haitian rulership under the presidency of Jean-Pierre Boyer. He was a mixed race man. His father was a white man, but his mother was a black woman from the Congo Kingdom, right? Present-day Angola, Democratic Republic of the Congo, that whole region in Central Africa. So he was a half white man, a half French man, and a half Congo man. So yeah, man. And as I told you, later down the line in the 1800s, the mid 1800s, Emperor Faustin Soulouque, he came to power. He was a Mandinka man. So yeah, man, as you already know, it's a lot of different African ethnic groups that came in and was mixing and matching it and trading different cultural practices in the New World, in the European colonies, man. So we can't really trace our groups. We can't really trace our ethnic groups back to one civilization. We got the whole entire West Africa flying through our veins, man. We got the whole West Africa. And it's no different when you go to, you know, different groups in the diaspora, the Jamaicans, the Trinidadians, the, you know, everybody, man. The Black Americans, the Brazilians, the Dominicans. You're going to find all different African cultures, all different African groups, all interwoven, and throw it into a blender and you get a whole new culture. So yeah, man, it's a beautiful thing. Like I told you, I didn't name everybody, right? It's going to be some that I missed. Especially due to the fact that some African ethnic groups were more prominent and more powerful than others. So, you know, some were just, you know, regular people, regular tribes, just off in their own, doing their own thing. And other African ethnic groups were these big, vast, you know, controlled these big, vast networks of trade and territory. And they were going out, you know, engaging in warfare and conquering and expanding and getting into imperialism and all type of different shit. So I just named the most prominent ones. I didn't name them all. So anyways, man, don't feel like I'm leaving anybody off the list. I don't want anyone to feel like that. In the interest of time, I had to, you know, chop it down. So anyways, it's your boy Neferkari Dessalines back in the building. Yes, indeed. Cash App up on the screen and I'm gone. Peace.
Reincarnated, I'm back in original fashion. I left on a horse and came back in the ass, and I left with abundance and came back to famine. We used to be pyramids, now we be rapping. Look how the mighty have fallen. Used to be running, now we be walking. When you be cooning, that's when they applauded. Selling your soul, your sons and your daughter. Gotta come up in this shit, they stuck in the mix. Really, my heart it be breaking. That's why I'm stacking that paper and handle my business. Pass it down a generation. Talking about money and power and building a nation. That's a deadly combination. Never be watching the TV, they pushing agendas, falsifying information. Know they got malice intentions. Step in the room and I'm feeling the tension. Enemy watching, he blocking my vision. Pay for the check cause I need my redemption. Building my kingdom, I need it protected. Ready for war like a young Money Congo. Never decided the team is the motto. Up in the crib and I'm whipping up waffles. Up in the crib and I'm smoking gelato. I'm chilling, I'm taking my pain and make it ambition. I'm blessed by the gods, but I ain't religious. I came for the power, they came for the bitch. They making no hourly wage. I got business, this shit is an art and they could never be taught. Selling my soul, I can never be bought. Play with my money, I see you in court. Run to the check and I do it for sport. Babylon falling, I go to the source. Packing my luggage and go overseas. Shorty be with me and she so elite. Shorty be chocolate, I'm calling her Hershey. Secret intelligence probably gon' murk me. Don't fuck with brands cause nigga I'm Haitian. Say the wrong shit and you're smacking their faces.